Are you worthy of her? Do you deserve the love she brings? All those who desire of her must desire discipline. It's a blessing to know her. All the things you can't desire don't compare to her. She's wisdom. Kings may mention of her. They wrote songs and proverbs of her. Forever she will remain. Wisdom is her name. So just meditate on the worst thing I say. Don't you know?
Shalom, family. Most High Christ bless you all. Welcome, Israel. You are in Esther's Kitchen. I'm Esther, and today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to dehydrate watermelon. So not only is this a great way to store your watermelon long term, whether you grew it yourself in the garden or if you found it on sale. Okay, but this is also a super easy and fun project that you can do with the kids. You have to keep them busy, right? So, and then it's deliciously rewarding. All right, so let's get started. All right, so what we're gonna need is, of course, we need our watermelon here. And I always clean mine off on the outside, okay? So clean watermelon, you got your cutting board here. We have, I'm gonna show you how to do this two ways. We have our dehydrator tray to go in the dehydrator, and to put it in the oven, you will need just a regular tray, and you will need something like a cooling rack. Okay, so it has to be elevated so that air can circulate underneath your product, okay, your food. All right, so that's what we're gonna need today. All right, so next, cutting the watermelon. After we've cleaned everything off, I simply cut mine in half. All right, this has seeds in it. The first one I got, they are actually on sale, well, not on sale, but at Farmer's Market for $7.99, and they are huge. Okay, this one I got from Kroger's. All right, so once you cut it in half, then I just cut it one ways like this. So you work with it in sections. Look like it's broken. Okay. And once we get it cut that way, we're gonna work with this one section. All right, and I cut all of the rind off of mine. I cut all of the rind off of mine first. So I started the end here. I hope that your hands clean. And I do this like I am trimming the fat off a piece of meat, honestly. So that works easy for me. So I cut it all around here. Because you only want, for dehydrating this, you only want the good sweet part. So I try not to get any rind in mine. And then also I keep these plastic bags here hanging on the counter for my pieces. So they go right in here as I'm cutting. So we cut all of that off. No worries if you get some of the meat of the watermelon. You got kids around, they'll be glad to just eat that right on out of there. But I get all of the rind off. I get nothing but the sweet parts. And you can save these if you want to. Alright, so then this is all we have, is the meaty part of the watermelon. Okay. Let's get rid of all this. Okay. The hands. Now all you do is slice it, and then you can put it right on your trays. Okay. So I just slice them like maybe a 1/4 inch thick. And I do it a little bit at a time. And then I cut, you can cut these any kind of way you want. You can cut them into squares. I like to cut them into strips. That seems fun and just more presentable. You know, fun for kids and, you know, easy to eat that way. So I just cut mine in strips like this. And then put them right on the dehydrator trays. All right, so that's it. And I put them on the dehydrator trays close together. They're gonna, you know, shrink down. Okay, so you will fill this whole tray up. Okay, and you know, then go ahead and stick it in the dehydrator. Now, and the same thing for if you're doing it on your in your oven. All right, so you would just line them up on here just like that. That's just the type of the say like that, like so. Okay, and then you will put them on your, just like this. Okay, and then you want to put this in the lowest setting in your oven with the door cracked. You want to put this in your oven, the lowest setting possible. Leave your the oven door cracked, and a watermelon can take up to 24 hours to completely dehydrate. Because it is mostly water, it takes a long time. So if you have a dehydrator, I would suggest you use a regular dehydrator, invest in one, or just plan to have your oven going. All right, so this is how your watermelon is gonna look. I just, you know, slice them like this, and, you know, then I go across and I slice them you know, long ways like this. You can take the seeds out if you want to, or you can leave the seeds on there. If the seeds come off, I'll take them off, or I just kind of scrape them off. It just makes it easy, and plus I like to save my seeds so I can grow my own watermelon. All right, especially if this is a good juicy watermelon, so and sweet. So you would just fill this tray for this purpose. I'm not, because it is the Sabbath and it's going to take too long. So we're going to eat this watermelon. This is our food for Sabbath, fresh fruit. But for the purpose, demonstration purposes, this is all you do. It's really simple. You put your, you know, just cutting the watermelon up is the main thing. Just laying them out single layer. You don't put anything on your fruit. Just make sure it's ripe and it's sweet the way you like it. And lay it out, put it on the dehydrator, and let it do the work. One other thing I want to show you too, how thick you cut it makes a difference in how they dry. If you cut them thick, like this is pretty thick, okay, and it's gonna be kind of chewy. But if when you're cutting it and you cut them thin and you lay them out like this, or, you know, even thinner, if you get some thin slices, it's going to be a nice crunchy candy-like taste. And I'll show you some of those pieces. All right, so now this is the end result. I've already had some dried. Okay, so they're going to look like, gonna look like this. Look like beef jerky if you did them the way I did, the slices. And when you take them off of the dehydrator, they're going to be sticky. Okay, so you just peel them off the dehydrator almost like a fruit roll up. But once they hit the air and you let them cool off, You want to let them cool before you take them off the dehydrator. Just let them cut it off. Cut your oven off if you do it drying it in the oven. Cut your oven off. Let them sit on the rack, and don't mess with them. Let them cool. Okay, and then it'll be easier for you to take them off. So, but this is what they're gonna sound like when they're dry. And then, like I said, it depends on how thick you cut them. This is a nice thin piece. They're gonna dry thin too, and then they're like chewy. And if you get let's see here, a piece like this, they're gonna be flexible, almost kind of leathery. So that's how they're supposed to look when they're done. And they're good. And the kids love them.
Good. Tastes like knowledge. Still on family.
And that's it. Okay. So you want to store them away. And I store mine in a mason jar. Every now and then you want to, kind of shake them up. They are gonna, the longer you have them in the jar, they're gonna stick together. So if you want to put them in a bag, you can put them in a bag, and then that way you can come along and you can shake them up, and then they'll dry even more, and they won't stick together. Okay, but for long-term storage, just put them in a mason jar. You do not have to vacuum seal these. They do need the air, so they're just easier for them to pull apart when you do go in the jar. So that's it, and that concludes the tutorial. Simple, easy, fun, and delicious. Thanks for tuning in. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, family. Shalom.
You showed me the fruit of your labor shows. It's evident you haven't sinned. You showed us how to keep the laws. Repentance so this kingdom calls. Strengthening the family bond. You showed us the worthy. We're no longer worldly. Now it's time for us to stand strong. Oh, we gotta hold on. Trials sometimes last so long. Yes, they do. But every time we make it through, we come more stronger, a little wiser. Now every day is brighter. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father, Father.